Sodium, the silent additive hiding in your everyday meals, could be affecting your health more than you realize. In the United States, the average adult consumes a whopping 3,400 milligrams of sodium daily, way above the recommended limit of 2,300 milligrams. It's so alarming that even the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, is stepping in, working with food companies and restaurants to curb our sodium intake. But why is it such a big deal? Let's dig in. What's the problem with sodium? If you're someone who doesn't suffer from high blood pressure, you might think you're off the hook. Not quite. Even without hypertension, excess sodium can seriously impact your health. It sneaks into your diet through seemingly innocuous foods, breads, cold cuts, cheeses, pizzas, soups, and, yes, your favorite snacks. Processed foods and restaurant meals are the worst culprits, and that's where most of us get our daily dose of sodium. The sodium-potassium connection. But there's another player in this health drama: potassium. It's an essential mineral that most of us aren't getting enough of. The National Institutes of Health suggests adult women should consume at least 2,600 milligrams of potassium daily, while men need about 3,400 milligrams. Yet only about 2% of people meet these targets. Here's the kicker. A high sodium to potassium ratio can increase your risk of cardiovascular disease by 46%, according to a study that followed over 12,000 people for 15 years. So, the goal is to tip the balance by consuming more potassium and less sodium. What happens when you cut down on sodium? You don't have to take our word for it. Two major studies underscore the benefits of reducing sodium. The first study, a meta-analysis of 34 clinical trials involving over 3,200 people, found that reducing sodium from 9-12 grams to 5-6 grams per day significantly lowered blood pressure. Systolic blood pressure dropped by 4.18 mm Hg on average, while diastolic pressure fell by 2.06 mm Hg. And if you have high blood pressure, the results were even more impressive. Systolic pressure decreased by 5.39 mm Hg, and diastolic pressure by 2.82 mm Hg. The second study, a meta-analysis of 42 clinical trials with both adults and children, found similar benefits. Higher sodium intake increased the risk of stroke by 24% and the risk of stroke-related death by 63%. It also raised the risk of heart disease-related death by 32%. Can you have too little sodium? While too little sodium can be a problem, it's rare unless you have a specific health condition or take medication that depletes sodium levels. Given that sodium is in just about everything, you're likely consuming more than you should, even if you rarely use a salt shaker. Potassium, the unsung hero. If sodium is the villain, potassium is the hero. In another meta-analysis of 32 studies, researchers found that increasing potassium intake resulted in a significant reduction in systolic blood pressure, about 7.16 mm Hg, especially among those with high blood pressure. It also reduced the risk of stroke by 24%. The best part? Potassium is abundant in fruits, vegetables, beans, and legumes, making it easy to add to your diet. The bottom line: to boost your health, start by reducing sodium and increasing potassium. It might take a few weeks for your taste buds to adjust, but the benefits are worth it. Gradually cut back on processed foods and opt for more whole foods, fruits, and vegetables. It's a simple strategy with big rewards for your heart and overall health.